was your road like to through high school? Because I mean, I know you had situations in your life and you had to make decisions at certain points. You care to share some of these things that happened with your life as a youngster?
Yeah, I'm an open book. I mean, I hung with a tough crowd,
Hmm.
and I was a self-proclaimed tough guy, and I got myself in plenty of nonsense, in high school, and I was actually a juvenile delinquent. I had felonies I was locked up as a juvenile. I didn't get into college. I was, and it's weird because I was still somewhat studious, not like I ended up being in college and law school ultimately, but in high school, I was still somewhat studious. I got pretty good grades, good enough, but I had this, other part of my life where I was just, a wild maniac, and I hung out with a lot of people that were wild, and it kept me out of college. I had a bad criminal record as a juvenile. Thank God that's not on my record anymore. But I'm sure if you dig in the archives in Broward, you'll see some ugly stuff. And it was always like, it wasn't, I was never a thief. I was never dishonest. It was never stuff like that. But not that my other crimes were better, but I was a fighter. I got in a lot of fist fights. I lost
Really?
plenty. I won plenty, but that was really the nature. That was my bug. I was always getting into combat with other people like a total idiot. And that's where I found myself in a lot of trouble.